The women who got a lot of men, they have a lot of marriages, a lot of successful relationships. The women make it easy for the men to approach them. They make it easy for the men to ask them out on dates. They'll ask to pay for the man's date, pay for coffee or whatever. We have such a difficult barrier here, and it's really a Western problem.
Then men 18 to 25 have not engaged personally on asking a woman out for a date, or I find that to be shocking.
Almost half of young men have never asked a woman out in person. And there's a bunch of factors around that. One, it's difficult. I mean, it's just not easy. One of the key skills I think a man has to treat or try and give his son is to how to express romantic interest while making that person feel safe. And this is only anecdotal evidence. When I go out and I'm in social situations, I'll have women approach me and say, I'm here, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle, I look amazing, and a man hasn't approached me in 3 months, right? And 80% of women still expect the man to make that initial approach. And also, to a certain extent, men's interest in romantic and sexual relationships has been pathologized. Like there's something wrong if you want to meet women and ultimately have sex. And I think we need to start celebrating it, because a man's desire to be in a relationship and, quite frankly, to have physical encounters is fire, and that is, it can be destructive. You spend too much time with porn, you start objectifying women, it can lead to misogynist or dangerous places. But that fire can also be captured in an engine and create tremendous progress. Wanting to have sex, if channeled correctly, which it is for most men, makes you want to dress better, smell better, have a kindness practice, have your act together, develop the resilience and the confidence to approach someone, and maybe they're not interested, and guess what? You're both going to be fine. These are key attributes. We need to celebrate men wanting to have relationships and making an approach. And if you don't develop those skills and that resilience and those calluses from rejection, you're going to struggle in other parts of your life. So the most rewarding thing in life is relationships, full stop. And I think the most rewarding relationship is building a life with someone and having kids. I'm not saying you have to have that to be happy. And quite frankly, just to be raw about this, when I saw my partner who I've had kids with, I wasn't thinking I'd really like lower rates on auto insurance. I was thinking, just to be blunt, I would really like to have sex with her. And that forced me to be a better person, to try to have a kindness practice, to demonstrate excellence. And 18 months later, we had our first son. So let's stop demonizing men for wanting to procreate. It's a wonderful thing as long as you channel it into wanting to be a better man. The only thing I can guarantee you is that anything wonderful in your life is going to have a lot of no's. Full stop. And unfortunately, men aren't getting to know because they're afraid to, or they have what they think is a cheap substitute for these relationships online.
So like sex ain't a bad thing for men, huh?
Hey, Shan, what's funny is that was the first. I didn't even see your link in the chat, and that was one of the first ones I pulled us on. I'm looking at their financials right now to see how they're funded.
And I was trying to pull up. It was like 10 of them that popped up on my screen. It's not just that one. Even the Salvation Army has one just for male centered in Atlanta. I don't know about anywhere else, but I just pulled up near me, and that's what pulled up.
Yeah, I think that might be the one. Even the one that you shared might be still privately, well, not privately funded, but mostly funded by donations. It's not funded by the government.
All right, so what did you guys think about what was said about men and their nature?
Well, we know women motivate men to be productive. I mean, I would say that men sometimes motivate women. So that's not anything new, you know. I would like to know percentage wise as far as race is concerned. How that like is he's speaking, I mean, because we're talking about overall. I don't think our experience is necessarily the same as others experience, not from what I've seen.
You guys agree we got a different experience when it comes to that? Bo says no.
What
You
exactly?
don't think kids
Different
are,
experience that comes
you
from
don't
what?
think
What exactly is different?
Yeah.
mating, what is what I'm saying.
Mm.
Because that's what he was talking about, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same for the most part.
I think it's the same across the board because of social media and how kids nowadays interact overall.
There is a Métis problem, at least at my school, meaning too much, too soon. So
You're in Atlanta, so it's a skewed population.
no, baby. I'm just saying, talk to your kids. It's getting out of hand.
I mean, so what he said, what I don't like about those, I mean, you know what? Let me not even say I don't like it. It's a beginning, right? So that it's a beginning of a conversation that needs to be had. But what it almost seems like when you go on with Oprah, when he went on The View, he doesn't really want to say what you're supposed to say in situations like that. Remember, in a relationship, it is 50% the man's engagement, 50% the woman's engagement. But he will talk about problems and pathology of male engagement and leave the women out completely. Men don't engage with women because the women are mean as hell. We live in the era of the meanest women, the most selective, sexually selective women in history. They will joke on your sneakers. They will joke on your acne. Boy, if you don't go straighten your teeth, right? It's the outspokenness, right? Like, what are we always talking about on these panels? The lack of feminine, like, you know, the lack of femininity that women lead with, but that ultimately leaves men with nothing to turn to, right? So what Kevin Samuels been about 5 years ago, wasn't he on like going viral for asking a woman to smile? That indicates that we have an issue like that in real life, right? And I noticed one thing about pair bonding and people that make bonds in relationships and make relationships real easy. The women actually make it easier for the men to do it. The women who got a lot of men, they have a lot of marriages, a lot of successful relationships. The women make it easy for the men to approach them. They make it easy for the men to ask them out on dates. They'll ask to pay for the man's date, pay for coffee or whatever. We have such a difficult barrier here, and it's really a Western problem. Like in America, he got to take me out. He got to buy me that. You doing so much mental stuff. Like, is it really worth it? Do I really want to do all of that? Right? Because back in the day, a woman, like, listen, if she really liked you, she was smiling. She would come over here. She do everything but take her own chest out to say, boy, come over here. I'm trying to give it to you. We don't got that no more. So what are these men supposed to do?
So real fast, are we talking about, so are you saying she should be easily giving you access to her? Is that what you're saying?
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying interest. Do nothing. Come on, man. No, do nothing sexually. What I am saying is that I've noticed the correlation between women who are not afraid to show their interest in a man. That's it. Just your interest. Make it easy for him to approach. Make it easy for him to come over. That's what my wife did. Pretty much every girlfriend I ever had did that. Like, boy, you know how many pencils I asked you for? I had a bunch of pencils in my backpack. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.